rented out an entire floor at Soho House. I worked on Donda 2 a few years back. He rented out an entire floor at Soho House. He had people in different hotel rooms working on demos for the project. We were in there with French Montana. Kanye walks in and he starts asking French, hey, where the NDAs at? These OnlyFans girls are here. Where are the NDAs? I need the new NDAs. I was just like, this guy's all over the place. And people were just getting fired left and right, like constant arguments going on in all the different rooms. Staff was getting fired. Kanye was having rants and blowing up and going off on all types of shit, like we're the aliens. And I was like, this is just like insane. Kanye is only focused on Kanye's best interests, but he's not going to be the artist that goes and makes sure that every single producer has their agreement signed and that every single sample is clear before he releases his album. No, Kanye is a guy who acts first and asks for forgiveness later, or just doesn't ask for forgiveness at all and says, sue me. He doesn't care.
Yikes. Like, it's all about Kanye. Yep. This is why sometimes, and it's fucked up too. I'm sorry I laugh, but god damn. Ultimately, prioritize your own well-being is essential. Others may not have interest in the same level of effort, and sugarcoating the process won't change it. It's just cold as fuck. I admire Kanye for his groundbreaking contribution towards independence. Set the terms of the potential power of artists protecting the possibility of operating outside the established indie norms. Majorly often create systems that hinder our success. They set us to fail. Okay. Yeah. And they had not got paid. That's crazy. That's just in. Hell, narcissistic people always prioritize themselves. That's not healthy. Yep, it's kind of scary narcissistic. Like, it really does scary narcissistic as hell. And the crazy thing is, it's like, what's going on? Like, what the hell is going on here? So that's the one thing I look at right there. But let's move on though.
Everything.
I just got off the phone with a friend who had a very high-ranking position at one of the big 3 record labels. He just got laid off. They're switching their entire business model to independent artist services and distribution. I posted this video 2 months ago on October 16th. Universal just bought the largest independent artist services company that exists for $750 million. Let's talk about why they bought it. By buying Downtown Music, Universal now has access to all the data on a massive amount of independent artists and musicians, and it allows them to be able to gatekeep at the highest level. Complete control over all metrics of what songs are trending, what songs can they make sure don't get favored spots on DSPs over artists that are signed to Universal. Once they see that a song is about to go viral, they will come in and sign the artist. This is what I was talking about in the last video. Let me give you an example of how this affects you as an independent artist. So you release a song, you use the tools that are in Downtown's repertoire to be able to promote your song. Now, mind you, UMG owns Downtown. So they see how well your song's doing if it's trending viral. If it actually starts to do really well, they're gonna come in and offer you a deal. You say, I wanna stay independent, I'm not really interested in signing a deal. They say, fine. All of a sudden you wake up the next day and you start to wonder why your songs aren't getting on editorial playlists anymore and why the growth of your song is starting to flatline. And that's just the tip of the iceberg with this.
Wait. Downtown. Okay, let's look.
Swizz Beatz is getting sued for over. I just got off the phone with a.
Posted October says I predicted this. Direct-to-consumer platforms will be the right, and this is one thing I will have to say right quick to put everyone. Direct-to-consumer platforms will be the rate of the future for independent artists. With search and indie label markets surged over the past year, the labels are probably in a business model to benefit a broader range of artists. Connect with your fan base directly, sell your music and merch directly to them, and tour relentless. This is a time and a massive change in industry. Your ability to adapt will be different making in your career. This is what I would say right now. If you could get a website of your own, you control everything that goes out, that comes in and goes out. Period. These music streaming platforms like Spotify and shit ain't really gonna do it. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen. This is why sites like Bandcamp, for example, which I do have myself. I have a Bandcamp account for not only for Akitak Uzu, but my other moniker as Badman Street for my crump stuff, my crump music albums that I produce as well. This is the problem. This is the thing. Bandcamp is gonna be the new way to get your music out there. I'm telling you this right now. It's gonna be the new music way to get out there. And the thing is about it, you have the industry trying to go ahead and get the independent artists now. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Your money, you on the money with this. He predicted this. This is like what? When this was released when? December 18, 2024. I'm going on my calendar right now. He posted this video on the 18th. 18th, 25th. The 18th. Bruh, it's been over 2 weeks. He posted it on the 16th. It's been 2 weeks ever since he posted this and everything, by the way. I've seen this though, but the thing is about it is, well, I'm drinking water right now. But yeah, it's kind of crazy though, like how this going. So I would say to artists and producers, Bandcamp might be your best bet, or just get a website, make a website and sell through there. Cause the way it's looking like right now, it's best to do this. My goodness. And then, we're gonna go to another video.
Did you know Spotify has a confidential program that steals millions of dollars away from real artists every single year? It's called the PFC, or Perfect Fit Content Program, and they just got exposed. There was a guy who listened to jazz playlists on Spotify all day long, day in, day out, but he started to realize that there were these songs that had more plays than like Grammy award-winning jazz musicians that he's used to, like John Baptiste and Miles Davis. He was hearing the same track over and over again, and so he decided, hey, every time I hear this track, I'm gonna go make a playlist and add the song to the playlist. But here's where it gets weird. Turns out that Spotify was listing the same song with over 40 different random titles.
What? Well, damn.
Spotify told their employees to seed all these fake tracks in playlists of genres where people, quote, wouldn't know the difference, aka passive consumption. So Spotify said, hey, instead of us paying all this money to go license these famous jazz musicians and classical musicians, let's just make fake artists ourselves and keep all that money. And the craziest part about this is that all these fake artists have been traced back to Sweden, which is where Spotify was founded. Chances are this is a big part of why Spotify is having record-breaking revenue numbers, because instead of having to pay out artists for how many streams they get, they basically just found a loophole to pay themselves. Did you know Spotify?
Yep. So, and to get in on that, so yeah, this is the article in question. I was gonna do a video about this, but I slipped my mind pretty much it. I kind of want to go ahead and start with something like this because it's pretty what it is. So here it is. Early 2022, I started noticing certain strange and Spotify jazz playlists. I listen to jazz every day and play close kids to new releases. But these Spotify playlists were filled with artists I'd never heard before. Who are they? Where do they come from? Do they even exist? So, I found it justified concern readers. So I published an article here called "The Fake Artist Problem and Much Worse Than You Realize," which we probably also gonna go ahead and see about that too. I was careful not to make accusations I could prove, but I point out some puzzling facts. Many of these are live in Sweden, where Spotify had its headquarters. According to one source, a huge amount of streaming music originates from just 20 people who operate under 500 different names. So if you do the math on that, if there's 20 people who operate 5 names, you know, you can pretty much do the math from there, like 2 to, like, 2050, let's go 4 times. That's about like, no, that's 2 times. 2 times 20 times 2 is 40, 50, 40, 10, Hondo. Yeah, that's about 25 people. That's 25 25 names for each of those people. That's 25 names. That's actually half. But moving on. Some of those people were generating supersized numbers. Obscure Swedish jazz music got more plays than the tracks on John Baptiste We Are, which just won the Grammy for Album of the Year, not just the best jazz album, but the best album in any genre. Woo! How was that even possible? I continued making inquiries and brooded over a strange situation, but something even strange that happened a few months later. A listener noted that kept hearing the same track over on Spotify, but when we check the name of the song, it's always different. Even worse, these are different tracks. Yeah. He created a playlist, and soon he had 49 versions of the song on the various names. Shout out that said come from a random text generation, almost the goal to make them hard to remember. Showing Hunt and 5 more versions of the track is still different names. The track itself was boring and nondescript, but it was showing up everyone on the platform. Around the same time, I started having jazz play and play the Spotify that disturbing. Every track sounded like I was playing the same instrument with the exact same touch and tone. Yet the names of the artists were all different. Were these AI generated? Was Spotify doing the boy paying royalties to human musicians? Spotify issued a statement in the face of the controversies, but I couldn't find any denial that they were playing games with playlists to boost other reviews profits. By total coincidence, Spotify probability starts to improve markedly around this time. A few months ago, I spoke with an editor at one of the largest newspapers in the world. I begged him to put together a team of investigative journalists to get the policy. You need to send people to Sweden. You need to find sources. You need to find what's really going on. He wasn't interested. He just wanted to spice the opinion piece. I declined the invitation to write it. We now finally have the ugly truth of these fake artists, but no thanks to Spotify or that prestigious newspaper editor our petition. Instead, journalist Liz Pettit conducted an in-depth investigation and published her findings in Harper's. They are part of the forthcoming book, Mood Machine, The Rise of Spotify and the Cost of the Perfect Playlist. Mood Machine will show up in bookstores in January and may finally wake up the music industry on the dangerous faces. Pettit started by knocking on the doors of these mysterious viral artists on the street. Guess what? Nobody wanted to talk, at least not first, but kept pursuing the story for a year. She pitched a forum agreement to reveal what they knew. She got her hands on internal documents. She read Slack messages from the company, and she slowly put the pieces together. Now she writes. This is an excerpt from it. So let me get a swig of water real quick. Okay, so what I uncovered was an elaborate internal program. Spotify, I discovered, not only has partnerships with web or production companies, which as one former employee put it, provide Spotify with music we benefit from financially, but also a team of employees working to see these tracks on playlists across the platform. In doing so, they are effectively working to grow the percentage of total streams of music that is cheaper for the platform. In other words, Spotify has gone to war against the musicians and record labels and everything. At Spotify, they call this the Perfect Fit Content Program. So this is the article, pretty much it. I'll post it in the description. But we going through this. So big shout outs to Sync Money for all they're doing for the people who are trying to get into sync licensing as well. I would suggest you sign up with them, pretty much it. At Spotify, they call this a Perfect Fit Content Program. Musicians who provide for ELC tracks must also give up control of certain royalty rights. If track cost probably could be highly lucrative. Oh, so yeah. Spotify's very target genre which could promote passive consumption. They did find a situation when listening to newspaper for background music. That's why they know it's the fake artist a problem person in my jazz listening. According to Pellet, the focus points were ambient, classical, electronic jazz, and lo-fi beats. When some employees expressed concern about this, Spider-Man said, according to Pellet, the listener will know the difference. Oh, they called it payola in the 1950s. The public learned that radio DJs pick songs for airplay based on cash kickback, not musical merit. Music bands got angry and made the nation. In 1995, both the USA and the House launched an investigation. Famous DJ Alan Freed got fired from WABC after refusing to sign a statement claiming he had never taken browns. Transaction now that are handled more deftly. It seemed in full compliance with the laws. No one gives solid exactly an envelope filled with cash. But this is better than Paranoia. On February the 7th, this is like last year, article from last year. February 7th, Spotify CEO sold 250K shares for $57.5 million. April 24th, sold 1/4K shares for $118.8 million. On November 15th, Spotify sold 75K shares for $35.8 million. on November 20th. So a Spotify share for 34 million. And CEO sold a Spotify share for 36 million. On December 4th, so CEO sold 75 shares for 37 million. And on December 11th, which was last month, Spotify CEO sold 60K shares for 3.3 million. DJ Allen Free couldn't dream of such reaches. In fact, nobody in the history of music had more money than the CEO of Spotify. Taylor Swift doesn't even make that much. Even after 50 years of concertizing, Paul McCartney and Mick Jagger can't make this kind of wealth. At this point, I need to be complaining about the stupid major records who have the power and supported Spotify during this long history. And some junctures that he may have been shareholders. I warn repeatedly that this is a huge mistake. Spotify is their apparition, not their partner. The longer they avoid admitting this themselves, the worse states will get. The music media isn't much better. These new revelations came from a freelancer publishing Harper's, not from Rolling Stone or Billboard or Variety. What the fuck? Goddamn. And it's a damn shame too. The music, and I could say the same for the New York Times and Wall Street Journal and Washington Post. Why did they investigate this? Why do they care? But I am grateful for independent journalism, which is now my main hope for the future. Let's turn to the bigger question. What do we do about this? By all means, let's name the perpetrators, but we need to do more than that. Congress should investigate the ethical violations as music streaming business, just like they did with payola. Laws must be passed to require full transparency. Even better, let's prevent huge streaming platforms from promoting songs based on financial incentives. I don't do that as a critic. People sometimes try to offer money for coverage, and I tell them off. If happy to get to the last thing, and I got said, no honest person could take those payoffs. Streaming platforms ought to have similar standards. If they won't do it voluntarily, but like I say, the court should force their hand. Let me express a futile wish that the major record labels will find us spine. I don't know about that, brother. The way this is going, god damn. Oof. This is, Jesus Christ. Dude, Jesus might have to go calm down to fix this shit. I don't care. They need to create an alternative, even if it requires an antitrust exception from Congress, much like the Major League Sports. I think the best of the corrupt streaming platform owned by labels and musicians. They reclaim music from the technocrats. They have not proven themselves worthy of our trust. If the music industry leaders have kind of figured out by now, especially after the latest revelation, we are in bad shape indeed. Thank God for independent journalism. I agree with that sentiment, because sometimes when you have stuff like this that's not gonna just heed to the status quo and just tell it like it is, you get a lot of results, in my opinion. And this is the one thing I also was going to say too, because while this is very sad, it is very sad, like real talk. Like, it's very sad because I use Spotify myself. But that's why I don't put my two eggs in one basket. That's why when I do my releases, it's always gonna be one thing and one thing only. It's gonna be on Bandcamp. It's gonna be on Bandcamp. Because the thing is about it goes Bandcamp first, then to streaming sites later. You know what I'm saying? And to be quite frank with you, it's what it is, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's one thing I would say. I feel like this is why artists need to go ahead and understand this. The major industry ain't for you. Independence is the way right now. It's gonna be the wave. I just know it. And with this being said, like, it's gonna get to a point that it's gonna get real sticky. This situation's getting real sticky in this bit. Spotify was far better than Spotify for the listeners and the artists of this happening. Yeah, that's why I write. And also another thing, buy hard copies. Just being honest, shit lasts forever than just a subscription. I'm gonna be honest. There's times I really rather just go ahead and just I might just go off of that and then just have it.
Universal stands to make about $2 billion from their acquisition of Downtown Music.
And here's the continuation of it.
Here's how they're going to do it. So Universal is wrapping up their deal to buy Downtown Music for about $775 million. Conservatively, this is going to give them about a 5 to 8% bump in market share. Remember that word, market share. UMG is estimating they're going to make about $150 to $200 million per year off of all the assets that come with this acquisition. Now, investors think in the long term, so they're gonna put a multiple on that new revenue that's being generated. Let's say it's a 10x multiple. Well, if they're bringing in $200 million annually more than they were before the acquisition, 200 million times 10 is $2 billion. So from them spending $775 million to acquire Downtown Music, they just increased their company's valuation by $2 billion, pretty much overnight. Even before UMG figures out a way to monetize all these assets that they're getting from Downtown Music, they're going to make way more money in the stock market just from investors believing that they're going to do it. And that's why market share matters.
And that's when, and then about also one more thing, Downtown Music also have Songtrust. I forgot to go ahead and mention that part. Real talk. And this is the thing about the real talk, real shit. I use Songtrust. And the crazy part is that like CD Baby, Songtrust, Figure, and AdRep, like right here. Downtown Music, and this is the thing. Downtown Music is the umbrella that houses multiple companies like CD Baby, Songtrust, Fuga, AdRep, and more. Most of these companies have public mint services that collect millions of indie artists. See, that's the other problem too. So I would say for the independent artists, it's gonna be real sticky, and no pun intended, for them, because now you have this acquisition and you already heard what they're gonna do and everything, and Spotify already pretty much doing bullshit and whatsoever. It's like, what can we do? And again, it goes back to what I say, go for direct to consumer business model, which means get your Bandcamp or your own website, you know what I mean? Spend that bread, you know what I mean? Shoot, because building websites ain't cheap. Trust me, I know. Like, real talk. Like, yeah, so that's what I think about it, real talk. And everything. Like, it's pretty crazy as hell. Pretty freaking crazy. And the crazy part is crazy. So yeah, I would say and this is also to my people who support me, and I appreciate y'all, real talk, I really do. If you want to support me, buy my beat tapes, buy my beat tapes from Bandcamp is one way to do it. Real shit. All right. So that's one thing I always will tell you. So yeah, that's it. But yeah, though, like this is just disgusting. Oh, and some more tea.
Sit down for this one. See, there's a guy named Lucian Grange who's the CEO of UMG. UMG bought EMI back in 2012. This sparked a whole bunch of allegations of concerns of antitrust violations even back then. See, EMI was another major record label, and because UMG bought EMI, there was massive concerns that they were going to monopolize the record label business. But Lucian Grange learned from this. He realized that if he diversified his assets in the portfolio of UMG, that he could avoid the allegations of a monopoly. So by switching the UMG business model to independent artist services and distribution, he found a loophole to be able to take over more and more of the industry without getting hit with antitrust violations. So to make a long story short, they're not just consolidating their power in the industry, but they're diversifying their assets to avoid legal trouble. They also get the added benefit of the narrative that they help the independent artists. Look, we bought Downtown Music, we support independent songwriters. We're not a monopoly because we support the people that aren't even signed to us. Absolutely unbelievable. But like I said before, it's all just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Mr. Grange is also very aware of people like me and many others who are changing the public perception and opening people's eyes to what's really going on. So these laws are about to get changed very soon. And that's why you see them rushing to buy up as much real estate in the industry as possible before restrictions get tightened up.
The part where he said, oh, we don't support the independent art. Let me go and call bullshit on that one. That's some bullshit. That's ultra bullshit, bro. That's an ultra bullshit. Because, and also, can I just say it's narcissistic as hell, too? Like, it is narcissistic as fuck. Like, you think you're fooling us, bro? You're not fooling us. You're not fooling us, UMG. That's why I always say, like, bro, like, man, this major industry is shiesty as fuck. And it's one thing about it. This is one of some of the shit that we as creators kind of face. And also the thing is, too, is like, bro, like, I just don't understand this. Like, oh my goodness. And then the privatized case strategy even worse than for artists than the record label monopoly, in my opinion. I know expert in the music industry, but when I see consolidation, distribution, Spotify, Apple, etc., radio, iHeartRadio, Concert Tour, Live Nation, and then UMG controls like half the music revenue in the world, and likely they have their hands on all these parts of the value chain. How can the artists protect themselves when about 7 to 10 companies control every revenue stream in the industry? Should this be illegal? That is a good point. UMG wanted something purposely to keep each other around as competition solely so they could start to the monopoly claims. They could have and would have easily merged years ago and completely vertically integrate the entire industry if they could get away with it. So instead, they each had gone and bought up or in the process of buying all the distribution / indie services companies. There's a huge push to increase the restrictions of the antitrust laws. You know, it's almost like to the storm. Oh, like this is the storm before the sunshine. They're going to buy up what they can while it's still possible. But after new regulations could put in place, the new company system will have a renaissance. I'm ready for the renaissance. Yeah. Bruh, these admins is going for more deep dives on this. Oh yeah, damizza and these two right here. No, y'all need to follow them. They be, bruh, especially this motherfucker right here. Whoa, he be going in. He be going in on about this stuff. Like, and that's the crazy about it. And everything, bruh. Like, game in. Do your research on this man. Like, he goes in. Cause he has a lot of videos too. But man, I'm telling y'all like this, bro. I'm telling y'all like this. This industry is wicked. So one thing about it, arm yourself with that knowledge. So you could go ahead and push through this shit, push through the grime of this shit, bro. It's a beautiful place, but it is some shaky shit. Careful. If you did the music industry like the ocean, you better learn how to swim or you'll drown. That's why I always speak independence. Like, I will look outside with a good independent record label, then their asses. Cause at least the one thing about it, we're good. Woo, okay. But anyways, this has been my AkiThoughts. If you didn't know, AkiThoughts where I get my thoughts on things on the music industry and more. So pretty much, thank you very much for watching this. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and Colonel more. We are turning this back up. I know only just did one episode of season 2. We're gonna continue with. So yeah, man. My final thoughts is like this. Final thoughts. Just do direct to consumer business model and get you a website. If you don't want to do all that, there's Bandcamp for that. They do have premium service for $10 where you could just do a lot more and do with everything else and whatsoever. So yeah, that's one thing about it. But yeah, this music industry is so crazy. But yeah, this is good. So check out later. Blessings to you all.